So, ultimate frisbee is this sport that requires way more time, effort, and energy than I really want to put into. However, it's super fun. Enjoy it. Flat piece of plastic. Some chill bros. Definitely no hot babes out there. None.
There's 2 teams, and the point is to get like up to a certain amount of points, like 13 or 15, whatever they may be, and you can't move your feet at all.
And there is a time limit, so you can't play forever. So there's a soft cap and there's a hard cap, and they go off at different times.
You have a field and 2 end zones that you have to get into with the disc to score. You can't move while you have the frisbee, and you try to throw it upfield to your teammates until you're in the end zone.
You usually have these things called handlers, and they're pretty much like the quarterbacks on the field. They handle the disc. They always like try to throw it to like the receivers or the cutters.
Man, I love Ultimate. It's really fun.
When I first got to Valpo, like first week, I just was like walking by the union, and I saw a bunch of guys tossing disc around. Thought, I'm not doing anything. Went over there, started playing, and I got hooked. Here we are.
Well, I joined because I was pretty bored. Like I was, nah, man, I was bored. I saw them tossing on the like outside the union sometimes, and then I had the activities fair that I went to, and this kid named Diesel just like kind of attacked me at the table and was just like, you should really join. And it wasn't like I was doing anything else. So I came to practice. Fun thing about this is, my name's Ned, so they sent me to the boys' practice. So I was like the only girl at the boys' practice. And I was just like, hey, I'm here for frisbee. They're like, well, you're at the wrong spot. So I had to like run all the way over to where the girls were practicing. So it's pretty awkward. I keep playing because like I love my team. Like everyone on the team is super awesome, super supportive. I feel like sometimes like our team is so close knit that it's kind of better than all the other sports at Valpo, because like they always like compete for like playing time, and like they hate their coach and they just don't want to be together, whereas we actively choose to like be with each other. So I've been playing for like since my sophomore year. I'm a senior now.
My name's Gabe Valencia. I'm a freshman, so I joined the team this year. I had no prior experience with Ultimate. I guess the reason why I joined was because I was looking for that outlet, like that athletic outlet, and I knew that Ultimate's a lot of fun. And then I guess kind of the most important question is why I stuck with it. Probably just because, other than Jack or Hayden, no one on the team's a douchebag. Like that's just like the best thing about this team, I'd say, by far.
I play Ultimate because it's really fun. I enjoy playing with these group of guys that I love to come practice every day, working hard with them, and Playing competitively, I've always been really competitive. I played a lot of sports throughout my years, and Ultimate was new to me, so it was like sort of a new, like a challenge for me. Like it was a new sport, something different, and when I got into it, my freshman year, I felt that this was something I can do for the next 3 years because it was a lot of fun from my experience. So playing with this group of guys and also to have the competitive spirit, it really wanted me to play more and more.
Okay, so I play Ultimate Frisbee because it was something that I kind of grew up with a little bit. I had a friend in middle school, and he went away to the summer camp, and he brought it back. He brought Frisbees back every year, and it was just a thing that he did at summer camp, and so he kind of taught me how to throw, taught me about the sport of Ultimate, and we didn't really ever play competitively. My high school team actually did have a club team, but we went the first week, our freshman year, and we just didn't really like it a whole lot. It was mainly just the people that we didn't really click with. We were kind of turned off by how competitive we thought it was. It wasn't really what we expected. But then come junior year, we kind of second-guessed that whole decision, and we noticed that a lot of the people that had been playing, they graduated out. So there was kind of this empty void that needed to be filled. And so we got a group of our friends together and kind of reformed a team. And then so I actually played in high school my junior and senior year. And that's kind of what initially sparked my interest in the sport. Then I came to college kind of knowing I was going to play. It wasn't a huge deciding factor or anything, but I definitely wanted to keep up my playing in college. So that's originally how I got into it, and I still love it today. So I've been playing Frisbee since like 6th grade. Seriously, I've been playing since probably junior year of high school.
Basically, the reason that I play Ultimate is because all the other sports that I was playing, I didn't really want to continue in college. Like either size wasn't big enough, talent wasn't necessarily good enough to play college. But I still love the game, so I feel like Ultimate Frisbee is a great transition, and it is for most sports. And this group is a very inclusive group, and everyone's pretty fantastic.
So I started biking in high school when I was in Venezuela. In like the middle of my sophomore year, a friend invited me to play Ultimate, and I didn't have anything to do. I didn't know what actually was Ultimate, so I went there and I just fell in love with it for the first couple of practices I actually went. And the funny thing is that my friend who brought me into Ultimate quit after like a couple of months after I started, and look at me playing 7 years later in another country, right?
I'm the president of the Ultimate Frisbee Club here on campus, and basically my main roles as president are to ensure that everything is in order for our team. I make sure that our team is legal with USA Ultimate, as well as ensure that we are prepared for tournaments. We have paid the bid fees for tournaments. I also make sure that everybody who needs information, that they get that information. Like I manage the team email account, and I make sure that any emails that need to be seen by somebody else on the team, I make sure they get those emails, as well as ensure that basically everything just goes smoothly with meetings.
I'm Justin Mortensen. I'm a junior here at Valpo, and I actually was just most recently elected as the Davies Fall Frisbee team captain.
Well, as of the beginning of this semester, Justin and I took over as captains for Matt and Tyler, and it has been really great. I've really enjoyed it. It's a lot more work than I kind of anticipated, and it's a lot harder than I anticipated. Matt told me coming in that it was going to be hard, but I never really realized how hard it was going to be. Just for example, calling lines is just a new responsibility, and what's unique about Ultimate, you don't have a coach, or at least we don't have a coach, and a lot of schools at our level don't. So it's kind of up to the captains to be a coaching figure as well, but it's hard to be a coach while you're still on the field playing at the same time. So that's kind of what's unique about the whole captaining thing for Ultimate Frisbee, is just being a coach while at the same time you still have to keep your head in the game and you're playing, and just thinking about what's next in the game and who you want in. It's really challenging. And then on top of that, you have all the planning to do. So for every practice, Justin and I meet usually for about 20 minutes. We usually just grab lunch and we plan the practice out, what we want to focus on and what we want to do plan-wise. And then on top of that, just planning more general things like what we want our offense to look like, what we want our defense to look like, and what tournaments we want to go to. I spend a decent amount of time as well emailing, not nearly as much as Steven does, our president, but it's definitely a big time commitment. It's definitely pretty challenging, but I really, really enjoy it.
But when I came in here, there was a captain who's more of a bro style, and I guess I kind of relate more to his style of leadership rather, kind of like spirit of the game, being like an extrovert and like having fun. So I guess I'm the funny guy on the team, but it's not really hard to be the funny guy on this team. So ultimately, like, honestly, that's probably why I got the position, was because like in the past we had captains who like loved the game and they were very passionate about it, but a lot of times that came out like in a negative energy. So I brought more like an optimistic, lighthearted, like more like an optimist, I guess, rather than someone who's always like harping on guys to like get their together, like play, like start cussing out guys.
I hope you yourself tomorrow, Jack. Like Scott did.
I'm a little more lighthearted about it all, and I think that's why the guys probably thought I was a good fit. I pair well with Will because he's actually more like a scholar of the game. He understands like the ins and outs. I mean, he's played club. He's played longer than I have, even though he's like a year younger than me. So I think that's a good balance when you kind of like have the academic and then, I don't know, like class clown.
Traveling for Frisbee, it's like no other. We don't really get like nice hotel rooms or whatnot. It's pretty much like who you know, and you have to like network. Like we have a tournament like in a couple hours that we're driving off to, and the boys team, they're staying at this kid Zach, who's on the team. They're staying at his house.
Right now we're at Zach's house, and we're very fortunate in that we have players that are very spread out across like a couple of states, the region, not necessarily the country, but it's very nice that their parents offered our homes at points, and we can stay closer to tournaments, and we have a good place to sleep, not to pay for lodging. Sometimes they provide us with food. So it's just a very nice situation when we can like go somewhere familiar and have a fun time, be able to do homework, like some of us are doing homework here now.
Last week, I didn't do homework.
Supervisor!
So I ended up staying up till like 3 in the morning doing homework. See, I don't have this. So now I do homework.
I know, like, especially since we're college students, it's like sometimes difficult because we don't have money and the school doesn't pay for us to stay in hotel rooms, so we really try to use like our family networks or our friends or just people that really anyone on the team knows. It's like, do you know someone who lives in Cincinnati? Okay, well ask them if we can stay at their house. It's like, well, it's a 1-bedroom apartment. It's like, that's fine. We're comfortable. Like, we'll get cozy. Do, like,
17 people on team. We can stay in one room.
It's fine. So a lot of times we like have family members who live there, which is always good, but you know, sometimes we don't, so we try to figure it out in the best way we can.
Typically we leave Valpo around 5 p.m. That way we can get to wherever we're staying, usually like a church or someone's residence.
Driving to tournaments, like if it's 2 hours away, 3 hours away, that's great. But once we get in the car and we're like, all right, 6.5 hours, and you're just like, gosh, like 6 hours with the same people. Like, I love my team. Sometimes it makes us like, it bonds us, you know, we get like really close. But 6 hours like sitting down and not being able to move, and since we don't have a lot of money for gas, like that means we pack the cars. So if it can fit 5, it will be fitting 5 people in the car, and we have to like pack sleeping bags, pillows, blankets, change your clothes for enough for at least like 3 days because you're probably gonna smell really bad. make sure you have your cleats, which smell really bad. Water bottles, like it's a lot of things to put in one trunk, so it's just not ideal.
So we're in Louisville right now. We're trying to decide where to eat. Sadly, all the restaurants at the moment are fast food facilities are all good. Just drive-through only. Thus, we can't just pick and choose. We have to decide as a group.
The Cameron's not in our car.
Yeah, but he's paying for her food unless one of you guys wants to spot one.
Touche.
So I think.
So hard!
So normally whenever we get to the house, it's a battle for sleeping space. No one wants to sleep on the floor. The beds are first, the couches are second, and the floor is third. I usually get the floor. It's not that bad.
Morning with the Frisbee team.
Oh god, I hate my life.
Too afraid to die. There is no answer why my tears are red.
Well, it's just a blast, like coming to different places every weekend.
So from what little I know, Valpo Ultimate started in 2006 to 2007 as it's like a mixed team with men and women on it. And I know they're called Something of Fury, and they're these orange cotton T-shirts. And I still know a couple of people who still have theirs. Some alumni who graduated. And a couple of years after that, they played for a couple of years as like a team with men and women. A couple of years after that, they split and formed into CHD, the Chicks Hucking Discs, the women's team. And the men's team has undergone a bunch of different name changes. Initially Strangers of Candy, and now Deus Vult, which hopefully we stop changing the name. And as far as the history goes, I think that's all that I know about it in a nutshell. I wish we had more. I wish we had a better documented history. I think it's kind of cool. I think it would be a little bit cool if people knew where they came from, a little bit, knew the program history. But we've done a good job. The past couple of years, one of the alumni graduated. He was a senior when I was a freshman. He's organized an alumni weekend every year, Nick Lindegate. And so we kind of get to bring in a lot of the old alumni, people I've never met, people I didn't even know, went to Valpo or played in Valpo. So that's been pretty cool, and I think that's a way for us to start to learn our history. But I wish we knew more, honestly.
Well, I can't really talk, I guess, because I've done plenty of embarrassing things myself. I've wound up for a full-fledged hawk in a game, and as soon as I released it, Cameron cut in front of me. I just slammed him in the throat, and he just collapsed. So everybody thought I crushed his windpipe or something like that. He's rolling around on the ground, but so I'm just as guilty of making a fool of myself. But probably the biggest, I don't know, kind of dorks on the team. It's hard to say. But you kind of watch out for Steve. He's real quiet. and those are the ones you gotta look out for. But like Steve is just like, he just gets this like little smirk on his face and he'll just kind of like look over like one way to get like these really shifty eyes. So, and then all of a sudden he'll just, you know, just say something just totally out of the blue.
Tyler White, he was our captain last year. He has a reputation of shoving a lot of food in his mouth at one time, whether it be like a giant burrito at Taco Bell or a whole bubble tape gum wad. Yeah.
Scott is just, Scott is just adorable. That's probably the biggest thing. He just, I mean, he was out of nowhere. He just whipped out like this like crab man. So after a score, he just dropped down squat and started like shuffling it around. I have no idea. I don't know where they came from. Like,
Cameron's one who's always telling jokes and having fun all the time.
So if people don't kill people, guns wait. If guns don't kill people, people kill people. Does that mean that toast doesn't toast?
Yeah. So we were playing in a tournament, and Nick Gasfield, who's another kind of quiet guy on the team, but he's like, he drops a few gems every now and then. This tournament, he ended up matching up against a girl. Sometimes teams will bring like one or two along if they don't have enough guys, and so they'll just kind of play. And so Nick was like covering this girl, and halfway through the point, I think there's a disc that was thrown up, and Nick goes up for it, like catches it, and as soon as he hits the ground, he immediately just like drops a deuce, and just lets it out, and doesn't pay any attention to it, just goes and he throws, and then immediately afterwards, like, blames it on the girl. Everybody's on the field is talking about, like, dude, that shit was so nasty. It's like, did you hear that? That chick was so gross. And Nick like walks off to the sides and just kind of like looks at all of us and like a little grin. He's like, I totally farted. It's just like, poor girl.
Valpo Ultimate is a sport like no other. We're a group of guys that come from different backgrounds, different countries, and going to different career paths. But we come together to join in and play a sport that we love, creating best friends for life. Throughout this documentary, I was only able to show you a small glimpse of what Valpo Ultimate is truly like, but I was able to record memories that will last a lifetime. So a shout out to everyone that made this possible, and thank you, Valpo Ultimate, for giving me a home at college.